Everybody's out here trying to look the part. The perfect house, the perfect car, the perfect outfit, the perfect smile. But let me tell you the truth. I never thought I would be the queen of a messy ass life. And yet here I am. My life has been a mess from the start until now. And that's exactly what makes me powerful. Because perfection doesn't make you worthy. Messiness does. And today I'm giving you permission to be a messy ass human too. I'm your host, Shareatha, and this is the Powerfully You podcast, a place where we stop performing for the world and start telling the truth about who we really are. I help emotionally wounded, spiritually curious people heal from trauma and reclaim their voice so that you can stop people pleasing, start living your truth, and turn your pain into power. And today we're talking about why embracing your mess is the most powerful, rebellious thing you can do for your healing, your confidence, and your soul. This is for you. If you've ever felt like you weren't enough because you didn't look the part, and let's talk about it. The lie of perfection. The world says your worth equals how perfect your life looks. Your lie, perfect house, car, hair, clothes, shoes, career, then you'll be respected. Then people will listen. Personal truth. I used to think if I just had the right outfit, right nails, right money in the bank, then people would finally hear me. They didn't. But I lived that but I lived that. I had those things, and guess what? People still didn't listen. They ain't give a fuck. Because the truth is, it was never about me looking the part. It was about whether they were ready to face themselves. Messiness is not failure. It is humanity. And I ain't talking about being lazy and not doing anything and living in a messy ass house all the time. No, I ain't talking about that at all. Reflective question. What perfect conditions have you been waiting for before allowing yourself to show up as you? Confidence in the chaos. Confidence isn't about having it all together. It's about daring to show up when you don't. And Lord, I couldn't do that. You don't need a polished environment to speak truth. You need courage. Personal truth. I've recorded podcasts, broke, homeless, living with my daughter in clothes I've worn over and over again, and I had to remind myself my voice doesn't need a mansion to be powerful. My worth is not in the car I drive or the clothes on my back. My worth is in the truth that I carry. But life will tell you that you are worthless unless you have the best background, the best tools, the best everything in order for your work, for your truth to be heard. Confidence, giving yourself permission to be seen in your humanity. Reflective question. When in your life are you holding, where in your life are you holding back until things look better instead of showing up as you are? The permission of messiness. Embrace your mess. Embracing your messy isn't lowering your standards. It's raising your humanity. It's giving you permission to be you unapologetically in your mess, in your perfectness, in everything. It's a balance. Messiness frees you from shame. It lets you enjoy the journey instead of hating yourself for not being good enough, not being perfect. I realized God put me in this mess so I could stop trying to perform perfection, and it worked. And finally, find the beauty in my struggle because that's where the power is. That's where healing starts. Not where you're flawless, but where you're real. The gift, when you accept your mess, you give others permission to accept theirs. And I hope this episode does that for you. I know it's hard because I didn't want to accept it. Reflective question. What would you change if you stop hiding your mess and start embracing it as part of your power? Devil's advocate. But Sharitha, if I accept my mess, won't people judge me? Won't they talk about me? Won't they say I'm lazy, unworthy, or not serious? Yes, but they are already judging you. They are already saying you lazy and unworthy and not serious. So you might as well just be what the fuck they want you to be anyway. Yes, some people will, but the judgment doesn't belong to you. It belongs to them. People who fear their own mess will always shame others for showing theirs. Their criticism is a mirror of their avoidance, and you can't wait for their comfort to live your truth. If if they're too busy looking at your hair, your house, your money, they're not your people anyway. The ones meant to grow with you will see past the mess and hear your soul truth, and they're the only ones that matter any damn way. Reflective moment. Take a breath with me right here. Put your hands on your heart if you can. And I want you to say this to yourself. I am worthy in my mess. I am powerful in my chaos. I don't have to be perfect to be me. Now ask yourself, where have I been waiting for the perfect conditions to start some shit? What parts of my messiness am I ashamed of that could actually be my testimony? Man, who in my life needs to go first and being real so they know they're allowed to be real too? Final soul true. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to, you don't need to have it all figured out to be powerful. Life doesn't have to be neat and polished to be sacred. Embracing your mess gives you your life back. And when you stand in your truth, messy as hell and all, you give the world permission to do the same. And that's what makes you powerfully you. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. If this episode reminded you that you don't have to be perfect to be powerful, hold on to that truth. Keep trusting your guides. Keep choosing authenticity over armor. And remember, perfection isn't the goal, presence is. And if this episode moves you, take a moment, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay true, stay tender, and stay powerfully you.